up, good people? I got it right this time. Ain't no technical difficulties over here. What's happening? What's happening, good people? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wrights, aka Key Lolo. That's right, good people. I hope you guys are having a happy ass Monday because me, myself, and there you go over there. That's right. I was gonna say me myself. No, that's right. Me and my PNC, the one and only, the unapologetically brilliant. Y'all know who she is. Oh, bam. That's right. Cheryl Morrow. Don't forget the handle, the hair oracle. To you, that is. That's right. She was affectionately. We had a vote. Hair savant was like Cheryl Morrow is the hair oracle. It was unanimous in the chat. Everybody said, "Oh yes, she is most certainly the hair oracle." What's up, Luana? Our new, what's all y'all coming through? Look at them, Cheryl. Pop, 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 pop. Those are crew. Yeah, they weren't ready. Y'all don't know about that, Jennifer. What's up? What's going on, my beauty Judy from Canada? How you doing? Raven, what's going on? Happy ass Monday. That's right. That's my girl, Raven. Wait a minute. We about to play the song, but before we do that, y'all know what time it is when my boss, Lavina, drops in the chat. Y'all know what that means, right? It's L time. That's right. Drop y'all L's in the chat if you want to. Feel free to hold your L up to the screen, not the lowercase L, but the big L. Somebody said the L means losses. No, it don't. The L means Lavina, and we don't care nothing about them dang on. I'm sorry. Harris Savant is in the house. What's happening? I can't wait to meet you in real life. We are about to have one kick butt show. But before we get started, boss, I hope every L you see in the chat, that means I get a raise. I just want to let y'all know. Let's play this song, Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair by the one and only Rachel Evans, as we wait for some more family to come into the chat. Hey, you guys can download this song. You can go to your Amazon store if you want to. You can go, or you can listen to it right here and check it out. Sister, let me do your hair right now. Come on now. Hey. Everybody get ready to sing that verse. Hit that Harlem Shake. Woo! That's a dope song, y'all. Come on. Hey, wait a minute. Come on, let me and Cheryl do y'all hair. Hit them lights. Go ahead on and hit the heart button because we're going to do y'all hair tonight. Let me fix these glasses back. Hold on. Look at me and Cheryl. Y'all got to take our picture with our matching glasses. Look at that. So, hey, y'all. Hey. Don't get the best of me. Oh, you always say me. Oh, very happy if you would let me do your hair. If y'all would just let a hairstylist or a barber do y'all hair, I'm telling y'all, life would just be so beautiful. Listen to this wonderful song by Rachel Evans. And let me do your hair. Hey, oh, boom, boom. Don't, don't. You digging this cut? I'm telling you, Raven, this is a beautiful, beautiful song. Admit that saxophone.
Hi.
Hey, when you put your earphone, your little earbuds in, you be like, let me do your hair. Ah. All right, now you have just tuned in or scrolled. I don't know, what do they call this we do here? Do you click in or I don't know, whatever. Anywho, you guys are on America's favorite. That's right. This is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair, and we are talking the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. It is me, your lovely host and cosmetologist, Ladosha Wright, aka Lolo. And then right over there is my PNC, the unapologetically brilliant Cheryl Morrow, the hair oracle. All right, so we have a wonderful, wonderful podcast that's going down this evening. It's all about gonna make you sweat. Don't sweat. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about sweat and hair. You guys know we always welcome any subject matter that you guys want us to cover. Make sure you drop it in the chat, because remember, you all are our partners in helping to change the narrative about the craziest, dumbest shit that people say about black hair that cost you guys time and money, which you both don't want to waste. What's up, Dewey? I see you in the chat. Happy Monday. So we're going to hop right into the subject like we always do. We kick this baby off with some good old-fashioned current events. First, I want you guys to know that over the weekend on Friday, Cleveland, the Nerve, remember we on the Nerve DJs, Cheryl? Okay, so the Nerve DJs hosted their 20th anniversary, and of course, they were celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And so it was dope. It was there. And I got a chance to meet cool DJ Red Alert. Hey, DJ Red Alert says he don't go, yeah. I was like, oh, but that's okay, because everybody in the audience was saying it. Here's my 5 seconds of funk on the Nerve DJs. Here you go, right there. They had Coach Cheese was in the house, Chill, my BFF, Johnny O. They said Twister came at the end. I missed that. It was absolutely wonderful. But let me just say this. There was a documentary called 216 Legends of the Land. This documentary, by far, now I've seen a bunch of hip hop documentaries, but seriously, y'all, if you are a hip hop head like me, I am hip hop. I was there, and I was in Cleveland. Everybody in Cleveland, if you hip hop and you don't know Ladosha, you probably is not hip hop. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Now, I ain't talking about this new stuff, okay? I'm talking about old school back in the day, okay? Seriously, guys, I was like really there. And in hip hop is truly a culture, and it has like the MCing, right? You know, your DJ, the music, of course, and then you also have what? Your graffiti, right? You got to have your graffiti, and then last but not least, you know, you got to have your b-boys, right? Your break dancing. So this documentary gets all the elements of hip hop, which you rarely see. We got a chance to see some of the faces behind the graffiti art that we saw, you know, the whole time growing up. The graffiti artist, oh my God, his name was Say No, not to mention, he is fine than a son of a, whoa. Good Lord, and 8 nickels. He was fine. But anywho, he is a prolific Oh my God, just massive graffiti art. To hear his story, I was like, oh my God, they got Say No up in here. And so they had Cochise, Lynn Tolliver, like I said, Chill, DJ Ellery of the Black Frost crew. Look in the skies, look in the trees. Who do you see? Ellery. That was old school. So it's wonderful. It's going to be showing October the 25th in Beechwood at Pine Crest. So visit Eventbrite and get your tickets. I don't have a link, but I will post it. I promise you it is worth it. So Cheryl, in your neck of the woods, I see the WGA, the strike ended.
Yeah.
She like, sure you don't like the actors and stuff in Hollywood, over on your side of town. Come
Hey,
on,
Jet,
right?
hey, Jet. All I know is that when you're talking about the West Coast hip hop, you're gonna definitely. They told me that they're gonna enter the curl
Uh, uh, well, hey,
in the hip hop Hall of Fame.
they need to enter the curl in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame because Ice Cube, when they say how does survivors, Ice
No,
Cube,
no, no.
you know what I'm saying?
Curtis
Hey,
Blow.
we got
Curtis
to do an
Blow.
episode. We have to do an episode on hair and music and fashion. Wouldn't you guys like to see that? We pull up some old hairstyles and just kind of talk about, because Cheryl knows some of the people behind it. Oh, your daughter received an award? Well, congratulations. Drop your daughter in the chat. So Raven said her daughter received an award. So
Ooh.
that's right. It's a true event about some hip hop for the hip hop, just music lovers. I shouldn't say that, but it was all about hip hop. Also, let me show you this right here. Now, sure, you've been to Jamaica, right?
Mhm.
On several occasions. Are you guys aware of this? Now, I am, but it's bad when they do this. Where did I do with the? Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all know. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. I gotta go back and get it. Hold on, wait a minute. Did I put the wrong one? Oh, hold on. I gotta go and get this. But anyway, while I'm going to get it, apparently in Jamaica, check this out. The residents cannot go on to the beaches. They have forbid the residents to go onto the beaches because of the colonized laws. Did you hear what I said? The colonized laws. This is real. They do have a documentary on it on YouTube. I can't seem to get my freaking computer to drop it, but anywho, you got to go ahead on and check this out. It's pretty sad. It's a sad situation. What do you
And
think about?
is it because of tourists?
Well, that's what they're saying, that the tourists, they don't want the locals, on the beach. So, never heard of anything. Well, when I was there, I'll be honest. When I was in Jamaica, they did have this thing where they have like this area where all the workers have to, go outside and around and, like catch the bus or get a ride or whatever. And so they were telling us that, the locals were not allowed, to come onto the beach. I mean, to come onto the actual property of the resort if they were not working, they wasn't allowed. So you already know I was just like this. No, we ain't having that. Oh,
Oh, you can spend your money somewhere else.
oh man, I'm like, come on, what is y'all doing? Like, really? How? Like, what's that all
I
about?
haven't
So
been to
people don't
Jamaica.
know.
I haven't been to Jamaica in 10 years. So
Oh yeah. Well, I think we need to support our brothers and sisters over in Jamaica, however we can. When you get over there,
no,
we have to do.
I would not be going. I will not give money to the tourists.
Yeah, they said that like they don't allow people. Here it is. Here's the article right here. Here it is. Look at this. come off an airplane, get onto a bus, go onto a resort, and never leave the resort. That is true. We didn't do that, but we did see that they have the bus, take you over to like where you could shop like locally, and so I thought it was. I didn't like the way that they were doing it, but it's very real. So that's what's happening over in Japan. It's been happening, but they are actually starting to speak about it, and they said that these laws are dating back to slavery that prohibits them for. I mean, it's their damn beach. Like, what the hell wrong with that country? But Jamaica has been known to be a little bit shady, if you know what I mean. So you got to speak. You got to speak. You got to talk about that, so on and so forth. Next up, check this out. She's all over the internet. What do you think about that? They say Kim Kardashian has cut her hair off, and she slay. Ain't nothing she can't rock. Y'all know what me and Cheryl gonna say, right? Ain't nothing. Should we show them? Should we show them who did it first, who did it best? Want me to show them? Y'all want to see who did it best? Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Bam! There it is. We keep trying to tell y'all.
Lola.
Come on, Lola
Fulana.
Come on now.
Well, wait a minute. In my I did an exhibit in New York called A Century of Beauty. And actually it was a very successful exhibit. I didn't do it with Procter & Gamble. I didn't do it with the big names. I did it in a local Harlem museum. Actually turned into a brownstone owned by a wonderful gentleman. It was called Casa Frela. And it was so popular. And I had the showstopper was the first black Playboy bunny.
Oh.
And Hugh Hefner said, if you're going to be a Playboy bunny, you got to rock an afro. Don't even try to come up here with no wig. I want an afro. And you guys can look it up. It's Afro Playboy bunny. It could have been 1967. 1967.
Wow.
But Lola Falana, baby. Lola Falana
was here. There she is again. I'm just saying, Kim Kardashian better go ahead on and do their little homework. Okay, now. I'm just saying now. I'm just saying.
And let me just say this. I am not mad at her.
I ain't either.
Because
I ain't never mad at Kim Kardashian.
I ain't mad at her. I'm just saying. She understands. She understands the assignment. She gets it.
She got them black kids. She better dress up like. No, I'm just kidding.
However, but and because of our lack of our own personal understanding of Black culture, they understand it. They just have the power to do it. But
here go Hair Savant. Here you go. They always copy the original. That's right.
But they would. That makes sense.
Right.
You always do. You always do what the parent does.
I mean, who the hell wouldn't copy Lola? Shit. Y'all see my eyebrows. I've been trying to shade them off since 2003. So I already know about the power of Lola. And what was the other lady name? Foxy Brown. You know what I'm saying? So
you had Foxy Brown. You had
Jane Kennedy.
The ones that played Christy Love, Cleopatra Jones.
Oh yes. So these images, these people are very, very iconic. And so don't be salty about the beauty, right?
Pam Grier.
Oh snap! Pam Grier. Pam Grier was so fine. She made the preacher drink wine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. This is how we grew up. That's why I don't understand this whole natural hair movement. Like, what is y'all talking about? This is new.
What are you returning to?
What are you like? We've been doing this. I mean, we grew up
doing it.
Yo, Hair Savant, we was foxy 24/7. We wasn't even a hooker. I'm talking about before Shaft. We wasn't hoes and pimped up. We was just on GP. But anywho, let's hop into the topic tonight. Okay. It's all about sweat and
Right.
hair.
Yes.
So this topic came up. Actually, this is a request from within the hair salon, and a
Really?
customer was like, Ladosha. I'm like, girl, what's going on with your hair? Now, if you come to the hair salon, you already know here at the Revis Design Team Hair Salon, we are not big fans of people spending money on their hair and they can't recreate the look. So you don't spend money to get your hair done and you can't recreate the look. It's just a waste of money, okay? So we're really staunch on teaching people how to maximize their dollars, be it just buying retail. Our menu is also a la carte. We're excited to be bringing on Cheryl Morrow's product, that's coming up in the fall. So we're really, really big on this. This is not a joke. So my guest, she came in and her hair was jacked. You know what I'm saying? Hair savant. It was looking like, I said, and it was like, and I'm like, no, come on now, dog. Come on, man. Like, what's going on with your hair? And she said, oh, I was working out, girl. And that's what y'all need to do a podcast on, all this salt in my hair. I said, salt? She said, girl, when you sweat, that sweat, it turns into salt and it damages your hair. So we're gonna go ahead on and hop right into the topic of sweat and how people believe it is salt, that your body, that sweat is salt, and that when it dries, it crystallizes and it turns into the salt, and it makes your hair hard, it clogs your follicles, and your hair falls out. Now, I will admit, I've been in business for 23 years. I've never, ever, ever have I heard that sweat is responsible for your hair falling out and that it clogs your follicles. So you guys know, I know where they're getting this stuff from, okay? Which is
Where?
I'm about to show you, which is why we are going down to Columbus on Wednesday to fight for more education. They're trying to lower the standards again. So here we go, here, Savant. Everybody, Dewey, Boss, Judy, everybody in the chat. Here is where I think people are getting some of this stuff from. Here you go, Cheryl.
Majority of sweat is made up of salt. Like the salty water is what you're getting. It's going to leave salt deposits on the scalp. So when you have dirt, product buildup, you're gonna get like this gunk that could potentially lead to clogged follicles, irritation, inflammation, and then eventually hair fall.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, now that's a bit much. The chat is on fire. We love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, Michelle? I see you. Miss Morrow, welcome. We're so happy to see you. I know you're excited to hear if sweat does damage hair. That is not the customer. What's up? Happy is in the chat. So, what do you say about sweat turning into salt, clogging the follicles? I think I got a picture of some hair. I've decided to keep some of these images up because sometimes we need them. Here it is. So here we go. Let me show you. I know this could be a dog. But so here is, they don't show the sweat glands for some reason. But anywho, so they're saying that when you get the sweat, right, that the sweat turns into salt and it clogs. When they say, follicle. So it said that the sweat will clog the follicle and then you have damaged hair.
Oh, you want me to say something?
They said, come on.
Guys.
Turning the salt.
Put in sweat pH. pH of sweat.
What is the pH of sweat?
I'm just curious.
I would say.
I mean, I have an idea, but.
Okay, don't cook it up, y'all. Anybody knows what this? Why I feel like KRS-One classes in session, so you can stop guessing. Okay, let's look up the pH of. Here we go. I would say 7. Everybody, it's a delayed response. Drop what you think the pH of sweat is, and I'm gonna say the P, lowercase p, capital is lowercase p, capital H, is 7. I'm gonna drop mine in the chat. We got 6, 4.5. Okay, Harrison, I can't be on. What's up, Jay? How you doing? All right, hold on. Don't cook it up. Look it up. Come on, let's go to Google University. pH sweat. Okay. Hold on. I gotta spell sweat. SW. Okay, here it is. pH of sweat. Okay. All right. I'm wrong. Hair Savant, you, of course, your ass, right? Sister Nia Kobe, you all right? It says it's the pH is about 6.3. Sweat is found moderately to neutral levels. Again, typically between 4.5 and 7.0. So Hair Savant, you
Where the Key Lolo go? Key Lolo. Uh-oh. Think she froze. Key Lolo got to do something about that internet, man. So, you guys said, let's say, let's 6.3, 6.9. I think most people said it was 6.9, 6.3, right? Now I gotta go check the chat. 7. I think the last one we got 7. Now Kobe said 6. Hair Savant said 4.5 to 7.0. Oh shit! Come on, Jay. 7.5. All right. When we Key Lolo comes back, the correct one, I absolutely think it was 6.3. Around acidic, put it that way. And I know Key Lolo, aka Key Lolo, Miss Ladosha is probably not gonna. What did Ladosha say? Ladosha said, well, actually, she read 6.3 anyway. So it's basically acidic. Sweat is acidic. When you start tasting a lot of salt, is usually an indication of could be dehydration. And what's up?
Hey, I don't know. I just connected it to my phone. Y'all, I don't know. Anywho, I'm down with it. Keep going.
What'd you say? You said 6.3. That's what you read. And then there's
7. Yeah, Hair Savant had the answer. 4.5. It ranges.
Yeah. Well, that's a big range. Yeah. That's pretty much a big range. But it's around 6. So it's acidic. Turning into salt. Acids don't turn into salt. Then definitely doesn't crystal.
Wait a minute. Now, Cheryl, I don't think Cheryl.
Believe me, no one told her that.
Hold on, because my customer said it. I'm gonna play it again because we got some new people that came through the chat. They want to hear it one more again. Here we go.
Majority of sweat is made up of salt. Like the salty waters which you're getting is going to leave salt deposits on the scalp. So when you have dirt, product buildup, you're gonna get like this gunk that could potentially lead to clogged follicles, irritation, inflammation, and then eventually hair fall.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The problem that I have with that's a big fear factor. I mean, she's promulgating something that's really going to have people very fearful of sweat. Why? I know sweat is salty, but
none of that is true. I don't know where she got it from. No dermatologist told her that. No doctor told her that. She didn't read it. You can't find nothing on the internet. Does sweat turn into salt crystals? There is nothing there. If you guys want to Google it, go right ahead.
Does sweat turn into salt crystals? She also said that it,
does it turn on you? Does it turn into salt crystals on your forehead? Y'all, come on, y'all. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
Oh snap!
Do it
Um,
turn on the crystals? Is it anywhere in your body? I mean, so it's almost like, is there different sweat? Does the water turn different on your scalp? There's no gland material, no sebaceous gland, no. Sweat is about, should be water. It is always basically acidic. Your hair is acidic, your skin is acidic. Even when you sweat, you wipe it off. You guys say your skin and hair has a natural pH. Then, if that was the case, you're always basically sweating, right?
that's right.
Okay. You have
That's
never
right.
seen salt crystals in nobody's hair.
Yeah. When my
Hair,
customer
hair,
says,
hairstylist, come on now,
yeah,
come through.
hairstylist, have you ever
Hairstylist,
seen
have you ever
uh,
seen salt
salt
crystals?
turn into crystals in your hair?
Well, you
Sweat
do that.
does.
How do we get a crystal? How does liquid water? How does liquid turn into a crystal? How do we get crystallization?
Yeah, and everybody's in the chat like she said 7. I was hoping you would say that, sister. Thank you, Sister Nia Kobe. And she is a chemist. So people will listen to her. And so this is my concern, Cheryl. Um, what would make a person with that level of education, what makes
Now,
them
no, no,
do
no,
this?
no. We didn't say she had any level of education, because I just told you there's no education institution ever told her that. She made that up. I know it's
Well,
hard to believe. It's hard to believe. She made that up, just like she made her doctorate up, just like she made her chemist degree up. That is not true. She's never seen sweat crystals in her own hair. Never. I know it's hard to believe, but no one ever comes out and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, that is not true," and stop saying it. As a
yeah.
professional and a cosmetologist, stop saying that. That is not scientifically. I have never had any man come home to any wife in America with salt crystals dropping in the sink like pennies, like metal. Shh. That has never happened.
Does anybody have any personal, maybe experiences? Did you notice that you sweat and when it dried, you had these crystals on your head? Now, what about it turning into going into your follicles? Like people believe. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
The chemicals they do taste. Sweat. Sweat does have a salty taste.
just because it has a salty taste doesn't mean that it is salt that will crystallize.
And she was serious too. She was serious to cancer.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When salt gets solvent, sodium bicarbonate, salt gets solvent, what does it do?
When it does, say it again. When it,
If you were to put salt in this water and shake it around and get solvent, what happens to it?
first it's going to sink to the bottom, and then it'll dissolve into the water.
It'll become solvent.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen it get recrystallized?
It, it does leave that film, like around the.
Ma'am. Have you ever seen it get recrystallized?
And you can shake it back up and put it in the salt shaker.
Let
Come on, y'all. Let's try it. Put some salt in some water, and
now,
and let.
why don't we speed up the process? Boil it.
Uh-oh.
Boil it. And then come back to it. Let it cool down. Crystallization is a cooling effect. Once the molecules cannot back align, once the molecules and everything leave, you get a crystal, right? When it cools down, you go in there in the kitchen, boil the water, let it cool down, go back in there and see if you have a crystal.
Hmm.
Okay, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen. And let
Now,
me just be, and I'll be quite honest.
now
I
wait.
am
Now,
what?
now go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
You say
I'll be just as I'm just as flabbergasted of where she got that, and I am just as shocked that she is
yeah.
saying that as if that is true.
Yeah. They
And
never source this.
I'm also shocked that she believes that something that is designed, because one, you guys have to understand, at the top of your neck, things are not moving in a circular motion. Everything is going up, right? And it's called a secretion. It's not always on a pump, right? So you got a sweat gland that is really wound up inside of the dermis, right? Then you have a sebaceous gland. Those things are not designed to suck. They're designed to secrete. Things come out of the follicle. It doesn't have a duct to go back in. There is no such thing as you only have a comotogenic accommodome, or a blackhead or a whitehead or a knot or a pimple. That stuff is coming from the bottom up until the skin gets very thin, and you just pop it, right? And oozes out, right?
Right.
But things don't go in unless they're comedogenic. COME
DE.
COMO, comedogenic. Okay, could be COMEDOGENIC. Comedogenic means clogging. But your hair follicles have no. It can sit in the mouth, but it doesn't. As soon as you move the hair, it doesn't have. It's a.
Well, she did. She had a picture. I don't know if you guys noticed that, Cheryl, but
She had a picture.
Yeah, let me show you the picture. Let's show her picture. Let me see. Here we go.
Majority of sweat is made up of salt. Like the salty waters which you're getting is going to leave salt deposits on the scalp. So when you have dirt, product buildup, you're gonna get like this gunk that could potentially lead to clogged follicles.
So there she goes.
Right.
So
and that looks like
a piece of right.
That looks like
to me.
Right, that looks like a surface of a cookie.
Yeah, I was gonna eat that. That's like a raisin bread.
Right, something. But she is completely incorrect. You don't have, when you get a blackhead, it is coming from the duct, from the bottom of the pore, or an overactive sebaceous gland. When it meets the air, it oxidizes and then becomes hard, and then like a banana, it begins to decompose, and that's why you get the black, right? But those things, that is not because you took a shower and everything stayed on the surface of your skin and then it's going to go in. Your skin doesn't work like that. And it's so unbelievable that this is common knowledge of how the skin works.
Right. The skin is the largest organ of the body is your skin, and it is a part of your excretory system. Like Cheryl says, it's gonna push stuff out. I'm not even understanding the whole concept of it, taking something in. Hold on. Where did it go? Hold on. Here we go. Armandia Rojas says menopause and hot flashes would create crystals.
If that was the case, y'all would have a whole bunch of crystals. Hey,
we all be over here with some crystals. Like, put some crystals in my bra. Let's channel the energy.
And let me say this: when salt is metabolized, it is a electrolyte. That's not the same thing as we're tasting table salt. If
Yeah,
you get
Rashida said something about if you sweat, if it tastes salty. What did you say, Rashida? Oh, she says, here we go. She says, swear that salty taste means not drinking enough water. So she thinks
Mhm.
that if you drink a lot of water, it won't even taste salty. Would she be correct?
um, you should not be tasting salt. It could be it could be on the alkaline side, which is that sea salt, salty alkaline. Could be an alkaline imbalance, but it's not um, the salt, table salt.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. Your sweat does not. When she said it to me, I said, I was like you, hair savant. What you talking about, Willis? Um, I'm like, I mean, like, gosh, you guys are,
Did
and this
she?
is
Did
what,
she? Did she? Did she have any hair?
yeah, she had a head full of hair, but it was so hard. And she was saying that the reason why her hair was hard, I said, well, what did you put in your hair? Why does it feel so? She said, well, when I sweat when I'm working out and it turns into salt and I get them crystals in my hair, so I'll be wiping it out with these mineral wipes that wipes the crystals out your hair, and I'm like, girl, you spending all this money with me and you're on YouTube. Where did you get this from? And of course, she said, TikTok. TikTok, stop selling that shit, TikTok. So I don't know whatever she wiped her hair with, but this is maybe I can see if she could let me see it. But so she used something to wipe the mineral salt out of her hair, and it was hard. Let's show another clip. Here we go, guys. Here's another clip. Let's see what the brothers have to say, because men, they sweat too. So don't worry, brothers. We got y'all. This platform is not just for women, it's for everybody. So let's hear what the brothers have to say about sweat.
Often should I shampoo my hair if I work out every day? With your hair type being coarse and curly, a huge mistake that a lot of guys make is that they wash their hair more than 1 to 2 times a week. Bro, if my hair dirty and sweaty, how am I supposed to clean it? Since you sweat a lot, what you need to do is the co-wash method, which is an alternative to shampoo that's going to clean your hair without drying it out.
Okay.
Crickets. Crickets. Um, co-wash to get the sweat out the hair versus shampoo. So now we're moving over to it doesn't turn into salt. So now the question is, Cheryl, well, how do we get it out? So men,
How do we get what out?
the salt, the sweat. How do you get the sweat out of the hair? So they're saying I got some videos on how you can get.
Are we trying to get the sweat because it has an odor? Are we trying to get sweat out because it has the sweat? Your body, your own water has something in it.
I ain't go. I'm not doing. Excuse y'all. Excuse me. Here go a flag on our channel. I'm not doing shit to my hair, but anywho, I don't know. This is what people. I'm just like, hey, I let me play it
Is
again.
your sweat dirty or something?
Often should I shampoo my hair if I work out every day? With your hair type being coarse and curly, a huge mistake that a lot of guys make is that they wash their hair more than 1 to 2 times a week. Bro, if my hair dirty and sweaty, how am I supposed to clean it? Since you sweat a lot, what you need to do is the co-wash method, which is an alternative to shampoo that's going to clean your hair without drying it out.
Sweat
Still,
is
can anybody?
synonymous. Sweat is synonymous with dirt. That if you're sweaty, you are also dirty. He just said that. Sweat and dirt. Like somehow when you sweat, sorry, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. Get some questions in the chat. Somehow when you sweat, you get dirty. You get dirty.
So let me follow the premise. The premise is I sweat. It's wet. Instead of me just drying it, the sweat is dirt. And then if you leave it in there, your hair will be dirty. Okay. And we know when you take a shower, you know, you just lightly rinse it. And I don't know, why can't we just towel blot it? Why can't we just take a, he's going to put new gum.
I hope we never get rid of this podcast. So, can we be 20 years later?
Mr. Hair Savant, I'm trying to understand, where did we go wrong in the hair salon? I mean, we didn't, is this like a new generation of stupid?
I don't know. Why? But wait, there's more. Hold on. So that's what the man would do. Hold on here, Savant. I got one for you. Here we go.
Yeah, and I sweat at my root, and my hair gets limp and flat.
I know.
And
underneath here, it feels like you just got out of the shower.
Yeah, and it's just a hot mess.
Oh,
hot
you'll
mess.
love this. So this is new. This is a UK product out of Britain that is going to be at Target now. It's Fudge Urban Powder Styler.
I said, hold on.
And so basically, whenever you put products in the hair in the summer, they congeal.
What you talking about, Will?
This is just a powder that you literally just dust through the hair. And the amazing thing is, not only does it volumize, Rachel,
But it sucks
also
up the moisture.
Dirt and oil from the sweating hair. So you get a little bit of deodorizing action.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The dumbest shit people say about black hair.
There you have it. There it is again. Sweat, dirt, and oil.
So, Mr. Hair Savant, so now we're going to put a powder on that, and that's supposed to suck up everything. But you just put that on top of gook.
Yeah, and
so they say.
But don't you love this language? And it congeals. I mean, everybody has this language that is out of this world. You've got congeal. You've got.
And then, wait a minute. Then you're going to get volume with it. Then before she started the whole thing, she said, you know, because when I sweat, it gets all limp. And then Rachel Ray says, oh, like it is when you get out of the shower with water.
Wait, and did you like the name? Notice the name, Urban Powder. If y'all don't cut this shit out, I mean, this is why this.
Now, wait a minute. Your ancestors used to take cornmeal. This is documented. Okay. Because anytime you can powderize cornmeal. That will act like cornstarch. Because they used to put cornstarch on the baby's bottom. Right? And that will suck up the moisture. But it is only to create a barrier between water, which grows fungus and bacteria, rashes and things of that. So if you can't keep the skin, but the cornmeal between your plaits would soak up all the oil and water, not dirt. Not dirt. Dirt is a whole different thing. Because I don't know when people are sticking their head in no dirt. But I don't know where dirt would even come from.
Here go Hair Savant. Hold on, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I only put powder in my shoes. y'all ain't putting no powder in your hair. Come on now. You guys, it is not a
and let me just say this. All of this is rooted in not wanting to touch their hair from week to week. All of this is coming from, oh my God, the sweating is going to make my style, because they don't want to do their hair. Because you ain't never heard nobody with no ponytail with a permanent, well, you know them ponytails, and they going down genie ponytails and all them updos, they don't ever have a problem with they sweat and working out.
Yeah.
It's only the people who got natural hair, braids and locks, and them twist outs. Because when you have a relaxer, guess what? You put it up in a bun or a ponytail and you go work out.
Yeah.
And you call it a damn day. But it's this Y2K natural. They are so fascinating.
And,
like, where do they? You can't sweat with natural hair.
I mean, what's the purpose of being natural?
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't a come on, y'all, in the chat. Come on, y'all. Didn't a decade ago, I mean, last generation, wasn't that a millennials or Gen X? Yeah, y'all just said dirty hair grows. I mean, we can't have it both ways.
Oh, she went there. So as you guys can see, this conversation is really not limited to Black folk. It's happening, excuse me, across the whole gamut. And this is why we need more education, more science. These hairstyle, all these classes and education that's primarily focusing on hairstyles. This is why we are hosting the Afro Hair Summit in October. That's right, on October the 23rd, we are hosting the Afro Hair Summit at Powell's Barber and Beauty Supply in Toledo, Ohio. We've got 4 wonderful scientific topics. We'll be talking about hair loss. We're going to be talking about dispelling myths. We're going to be talking about the cream wear and the software, the hardware. And then we're also going to be talking about, who was the third one, the fourth one? The future, So we got to make sure that you guys understand that there is science that is happening right now. And a lot of it we don't know. But all of these superficial, topical, pseudo types of discussions that sounds, because she sounds very scientific. She
is very serious, because there is no dirt in sweat glands.
Yeah, I don't. And everybody,
your sweat glands, inside your sweat glands, there is no dirt.
Yeah. So here's another one. What to do when you sweat? What to do when you sweat? And this is from a trichologist licensed.
Washing your hair out after every single sweaty workout? The answer will probably surprise you. And yes, I am a certified trichology hair and scalp expert, and I have been in the field for years. The answer is yes. You absolutely should be washing your hair and your scalp after every single sweaty workout.
Why? Now, I know it should be different. Why? So let me ask you guys a question. Do you trust your own sweat, your own pH, your own sweat, or do you trust your shower, the toilet water? Yeah, you gotta trust that toilet water, or you trust your sweat?
Which one do you trust? Do you trust your sweat, the shower / toilet water? Which one do you? I'm going to drop my answer in the chat. I trust my sweat. Let me type it in. We know we have a delay, so we're going to give you guys a few minutes to answer. Do you trust your sweat, or do you trust the shower / toilet water? Which one do you trust? Again, we are talking about sweat and hair. The sweat damage hair. Somebody says, which one do you trust? I'm telling you, this platform is so funny. It's sad, y'all. So I trust my sweat. So people are saying how much. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's Danny. Hold on, Danny. Let me comb my hair. Wait a minute, I messed it up. Hold on, wait a minute, Danny. Okay, Danny, how's that looking? Hey, Danny, how you doing? Um, uh, okay, so here's a good one. So everybody so far is saying that they trust their own sweat, and Danny's asked a question that's very interesting. How much of this is rooted in European history, where bathing was seen as such a problem? Uh, so a lot of people are trusting their own sweat.
Well,
Uh,
let me say this. That's generational, okay? Because you have to understand, black people didn't have no problem washing no afros, washing no cornrows, washing no hair, washing weaves that stayed in for God knows when. Braids, they stayed in for God knows when. Locks stayed in for God knows when. And half the time you can't even get to the scalp because the hair is so thick. They never really had a problem with water. Okay. And I teach, the reason why it's very, when you teach Afro cosmetology, you have to understand that dominant Afro hair types are self cleaning. Okay. We get into dominant versus recessive hair types. However, it is Y2K that is obsessed with washing and co-washing and water. Okay. Now, when you study the history of beauty, Europeans had a problem with water in the opposite way of people of color or with Afro textured, Afro descending people. Water to them was meant dis-ease, disease, disorders, pathogens, germs, bacteria, viruses, and things of that nature, insects, and all that recessive kind of mites and insect kind of infestations. That is not, got to be careful to not conflate the conversation. So we don't get the obsession of water from Europeans, because the obsession that Europeans had or have with water has something to do with hygiene. But you had in prior generations, up until you get to the Y2K 21st century, black naturals. Now you have an obsession of clean and dirt. When 25, 35, 45 years ago, we just said that we would wash our hairs every 2 weeks and that was cool, or the dirty hair grows. We were not water obsessed. This generation is water obsessed. Okay, so it's a two-part to answer that, because you got to get into one, history, and then the history of hygiene. The European hygiene is based on not using water because of germs and fungus and things of that nature. We have a non-obsession, non-synonymous with water, because Afro textures are self-cleaning. And so I want to know why your own bodily biochemical fluid is synonymous with dirt in the Y2K conversation. That's the conversation. Why are they so water obsessed? Water, and they're not only a water obsessed, they are shampoo obsessed. They say it dries it out. They don't want to say it's water, but they're a generation of beauty enthusiasts, content creatives. They just got it. They're just making it up as they go. And it's so sad, because Y2K naturals have a great inheritance and the greatest body of knowledge in the history of mankind, and they just refuse to use it.
Well, here's Hair Savant says something very similar to what you just said. This is a generation of influence and impression.
And we know what happens when history is written impressionistically.
Yeah,
it means that we're getting ready to tell an agenda, we're getting ready to tell a lie, and we're getting ready to misconstrue and distort something, which therefore you have the legacy of Madam C.J. Walker. Her history is completely distorted, because impression, I want to make an impression. or as you would say, Heravan, when you advertise, people just worried about if you click it, which is an impression in the advertising world. Just click it, just follow it, just like it. Okay, come on, we got 1,000 people in the chat. We should have more likes. It doesn't mean I'm correct. It doesn't mean if you're resonating with the information or not. It has nothing to do with any of that. But I concur with your point, Harrison. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of likes, now we don't want you guys to hit the like button just because. We want you guys to hit the like button because of this.
Pump me on, pump me on.
Yes, our conversations are very truth-telling. They're also very sourced up. They're also interactive. And we're able to do that because you guys are helping us change the narrative. What's the use of having, X amount of people in the chat and you're promulgating a whole bunch of nonsense? So as we move on into the conversation about sweat, what about this notion that when you sweat, like you're detoxing? So a lot of people feel that when you sweat, it's a form of detoxing. So they're into saunas, they're doing your Bikram yoga, a lot of different activities, and they feel that you're pulling out toxins when you sweat, and that justifies why they must wash it. Again, I don't know about no sweat pulling out no means toxins, or this is all new. When I was in the industry 23 years ago, no one ever said anything about when you sweat in your hair or if you're pulling out toxins. So I think in this new era of this holistic, again, people make stuff up, because even in the holistic community, you do hear some language about sweat drawing out toxins, or toxins is in your sweat.
You mean heat?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you do saunas, you do yoga, all of these things. You put the suit on. Remember the suit? You put the suit on, and
like the plastic bag.
Yeah, all of this is to help. Yeah, it's to help you draw out toxins. So maybe that's the whole thing about.
So can I just say, she made my point about the plastic bag. She just said plastic draws out. So can we not revisit that other plastic bag conversation ever again? She just said it. Did you just catch it? She said detox. It comes out, right?
Right.
All right. So the water comes out. I'm sweating, my face, my ears, my neck, everything, chest, palms, everything's wet, right? That's a good thing.
Right. But when you do a deep conditioner, it's going to suck it in. But when you sweat, are you pulling out toxins? That's what they think when of the washing the hair, that somehow it's toxic, that the sweat is drawing out toxins in the body. That's what's in the sweat, salt and toxins.
If the body is under duress, has a fever, and you put and you get under the covers, and you have a little slight fever, and then once you start sweating, and then you feel better, several hours later you wake up and you sweated it, and people say, "Oh, you sweated it out. You sweat your cold out. You sweat." Yeah, let me just say this.
Starve a cold, sweat or something. I forgot. Yeah, they do say
sweat a cold out. Now, of course, that is your immune system raising your body temperature. That is not the same thing as boom, 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 doing that thing and doing, that's not the same as your immune system seeing and feeling some kind of infection and fever, and then you go to sleep, and then your body naturally evacuates. That's not the same sweating.
Oh, two different types of sweating. So you're not going to work out, guys. You're not going to sit in the sauna.
One is your immune system having a fever and understanding that it's septic, it's got an infection somewhere. That's not the same thing as that you working out.
Right. So you're not going to pull out, guys. By the way, guys, you're not going to be able to go work out and pull out toxins. Okay. You can't sit in the sauna. You can't do Bikram yoga. You can't meditate and somehow, toxins.
Has anybody seen any crystals in their urine?
Anybody?
It's not even funny, but
it's true. So here's what the Science Channel had to say about sweat and toxins, okay? Because I do hear this a lot. Here we go.
If you've spent any amount of time on the internet, you've probably read some weird stuff. We get it. Like at some point, you've probably heard someone claim that there are toxins trapped in your body and that you need to do something to help release them. To accomplish this, some people favor juice cleanses. Others like to sweat in a sauna, hoping to push toxins out through their pores. But if either of those is your favorite method, we have some bad news. Juice cleanses don't actually detox anything. And sweating, as it turns out, doesn't contribute much to the cause either. Most of what's dissolved in sweat are salts, minerals, and metabolic waste products. So while sweat might get stinky sometimes, it's not because it's doing hero's work. The main reason we sweat is to cool down, and for some reason, when we're nervous.
There you have it. Ain't no magic, y'all. It's not. I hope
the funny thing is that your sweat gland is protected in the skin because we just said it's a barrier and it's attached to the immune system. So immune system sweating is not, and fever, it's not the same thing. And it's a nuanced conversation. And as beauty professionals and as cosmetologists, we've gotta be able to steer our consumers and our clients and our customers in a way that we say what the science say, not to what we want it to say, not embellish, not create and exacerbate mis and disinformation, but we are supposed to. And I know there's several different types of research, just like she began her video. We know that you guys are on the internet in these YouTube and Google streets, but it's we got to get the conversation right.
Yeah, we got to get it right. So sweating has nothing to do with pulling out toxins. It's not making you dirty. It does not turn into salt crystals. It's not about that. She just made it abundantly clear. We're sweating is because it cools us off. And if we get nervous, that's it, period, end of story. If you want to go ahead and wash it out just because that's what you want to do, whatever makes your boat float, go for it. But by all means, please do not use any co-washing stuff. Most certainly don't you take no powder. I bet not. If you come in the salon, and Sandra, I see you in the chat. What's up? Our third virtual host, Miss Sandra E. I'm here to tell you, if we catch you guys putting powder on your scalp, trying to suck up and congeal or whatever stuff she said, we're going to get you. So please, guys, do not do these things.
I am surprised that we have not talked about when you sweat, why does it make your hair curly? I think when you told me the subject matter, because that's one of the reasons why we don't really like to sweat, because it makes your hair curly.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it go back home, or it makes it go back to
Africa,
the motherland, and it messes up, and it does all kind of stuff. And it's really, and that actually, to answer Danny's question, that actually is one of the reasons why we don't swim. As they say, we don't swim, or we don't like water, or we don't like the rain. For natural hair care movement, they still have a problem with water. They're so water obsessed. But that is one of the reasons historically that Black women, especially even having press and curls or silk outs, or You know what I mean? They don't want water to touch their hair because it's going to go back home. I was assuming that was one of the reasons why we have an obsession of not working out.
That is a lot of people won't work out, but let me tell you guys this story. One time I was like, it was raining outside, right? I was in college, right? And my dad said he was, babysitting the kids so I could, go to school. So my dad walked past the woman. He said, baby cakes, why you ain't going to school today? And I said, it's raining outside. I ain't gonna mess up my hair. In that rain, ain't gonna get my hair to turn back. Here go my father, y'all. You better get your ass out this house and walk your ass in between them raindrops. So to this day, if somebody says, girl, what about your hair? What you gonna do? It's raining. I don't know about y'all, but I have learned to march my ass in between them raindrops. People are afraid of. I'm not. Yeah, all this one on me. I mean, whatever. That is a reason why people don't want to work out, because they are concerned about the hair reverting, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They've got all these band inventions that you put these bands around your head, and it's supposed to, keep the water away from your hair. And I'm like, I don't know how that's going to happen, because it's your body that's producing the sweat. So how can a headband, but people believe that these headbands are going to suck this stuff up away from the scalp.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think too, when you call sweat instead of perspiration, you kind of lose the whole goal of your sweat gland. And perspiring means when the body gets to a metabolic and cardiac and an aerobic state, it is going to remove its water because, of course, it is trying to cool you.
Right.
And, but water has a charge according to its pH. And if something is straight that is supposed to be curly, the water molecule is going to deactivate the hair fiber, and it's going to tell it to go back curly. Okay, so it's going to change that hydrogen bond, okay, in its weak state, and it's going to readjust, and it's going to get a water trigger, and the hair is going to go back dominant to whatever state that it's in, because it's in a hydrogen, and I know that people say that's your press and curl, that's the temporary, that's just heat straight.
Mm-hmm.
But permanent, I don't even, when you have a relaxer or you have a body wave or you have some kind of color, doesn't do that because it has less cuticle to react to the water trigger or the charge. Right. But that is because the sweat conversation is rooted in that mainly. The salt thing, you threw me for a loop, actually.
Yeah, the salt thing, it used to be the thing about sweat was that people didn't want to lose their hairstyle. But now the conversation has moved from that to the salt. And of course, people are still concerned about the hairstyle because people like, when I work out, I put a bonnet on. And I'm like, why would you put a bonnet on when you're working out? That is not what you want to do. Well, what do you do when you work out? You want to tie it down. Right. What do you do?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you do what you would do when your hair was in the wet state in the salon? The best thing is to let's just say if you wanted to do a twist out, put it in 4 plaits and wind it to where it's not exposed to the elements. Because it's all the water is going to run this way.
Right.
Water don't run that way.
Right. You also have to keep in mind, everybody drop in the chat, what do you do to your hair when you work out? Now, I just tie mine down because to Cheryl's point, if not, all it's going to do is it's just going to swell. It's going to go back up. So it depends on how you're wearing your hair. So my hair is straight. So I tie mine down and when
right. You guys
I'm not washing my hair every time I sweat. And I worked out this morning. I'm not doing it. I don't consider myself or my hair dirty because I sweat. I just don't. I don't, that doesn't even cross my mind. I'm like, I'm fat and I need to lose some weight. That's me. So drop in the chat, what do you do to your hair when you work out? You said you're bald. Okay, you're blessed. Okay. So what do you do to your hair when you work out? Some people put the bonnets on it. Some people do a ponytail. Okay, we got dry shampoo. All right. When you work out, you do 2 braids and then you pin it up. There you have it. Keep it simple, guys. I'm not quite sure about the dry shampoo. Tie it down with the scarf and the headband and then just give it, braid it up. You guys have got the idea. If you let it go loose, I'm telling you right now.
And the one who has the baldy. No
that's hair savant.
Right. Hair savant. The water's gonna come where? It's gonna come down. Ain't no water creeping back up in your follicle. Ain't nothing. That never happened. Ain't gonna happen.
It gonna get. Let hear what she said.
You don't even have. You don't even. There is no hair follicles. I'm just saying. Even if the hair follicles are still there, nothing is going back in because the mouth of the sweat gland has nothing to do with the mouth of the hair. So nothing goes back in a pore and nothing goes back into a hair follicle.
Here she go again. Let's hear one more again. Here she go, y'all. We're gonna break it down.
The majority of sweat is made up of salt. Like the salty waters which you're getting is going to leave salt deposits on the scalp. So when you have dirt, product buildup, you're gonna get like this gunk that could potentially lead to clogged follicles, irritation, inflammation, and then eventually hair fall.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So she's got follicles, irritation, inflammation, and all of this leads to hair fall. All because you're sweating. So you sweat, it turns into salt. You get salt deposits. You're going to get these little crystals, whatever, on the scalp. Your hair is already dirty. So you're going to end up with irritation, inflammation, and your hair will fall out. And I forgot to mention, your follicles are clogged. If that ain't the biggest, please, for the love of your individual self, don't y'all listen to this stuff. Please, y'all, you guys are being duped. She cannot source that. She can't make it make sense. We just showed you guys the image. I don't have an image. I'm going to get a better one. Sure, you got to put that image up of that you have of the cross section. The oil, the sweat glands isn't on here, but she's showing you that you've got your oil that's coming out. Nothing is it's not a vacuum. It just can't go back in there. It just can't. And your body is making this stuff. So please, you just can't believe it. I can't say it enough. What about the sweat making the hair come out?
But the sweat pore is not the same hole as the follicle.
Did y'all hear that?
They don't. The sebaceous gland and the sebaceous duct, which creates the sebum. So if anything, we should be able to talk about the sebaceous gland, but the sweat gland is over there with the erector pili muscle. It's in a totally different location.
Damn.
The pores have
damn with you. I'm sorry, Cheryl.
No problem. No problem. The sweat gland are those little windy little glands. A pore is not a follicle. A follicle is not a pore.
Did y'all hear that?
It's a totally different hole.
And that's the there it is. Here we go again. Say it again here. He said this. I just gotta post it one more again. Hold on, let me go back up. Hold on here, but I love this comment that you said about the impressions. Here it is.
Right.
I got to post it again. Here it is. This is a generation of influence and impression. Please do not be.
Right. Anybody can pull up a cross section of a hair. The sweat gland is not over there where the hair is.
Let me see if I can get one up cross. I'm gonna see if we can get you guys of this of hair. Right. Oh no, of the follicle. Sorry. Oops. And we're gonna see if we can find this, and you guys can see it in real life. They give us one here. Still trying to find an image that has. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me see. Let me see if this will let me. Will it let me show it? Present. Share screen. Here we go. Bam. Share. There it is, guys. Can you see it, Cheryl?
Yes.
All right. So here is what Cheryl is saying on this image right here. Here is your sebaceous gland, right? And then she just showed you guys that the sweat gland ain't. Oh, y'all see that right here, right, Cheryl?
Yes. It's not. Yeah, it's not near the right. That's that squiggly sweat gland. It's not connected to the hair follicle.
Oh, that's deep.
It doesn't feed. Those are pores. Those are your sweat. That's what we call pores. That's because when you have hyper overextended and even sebaceous gland, the sebaceous gland creates and lubricates the hair as it's coming up and out. But that sebaceous, the sebum, doesn't evaporate, but it's made of wax and glycerides and fatty acids and water and other things. But the sweat gland is for cooling.
There it is.
It has nothing to do with the follicle in and of itself. If that makes sense. I'm sorry I was distracted, but
no, that's good. I hope you guys are finding this like extremely helpful, and it's that whole pseudo stuff that a lot of these people are saying. You can't, just because you say it and try to, oh, I like this right here. Damn, I love that facts on the location. You see that right there? That's it. That's what we're talking about. We got to source this up so you guys can see in real life. So at the end of the day, guys, it's okay. Sweating is normal. It's only about two things and two things only. What did she say? Cooling your ass off. That's it. And when you get nervous, if you want to wash your hair, it's on you. It's up to you. If you want to put a rag on it or whatever. But if you have afro hair, it's just best that you really contain it, either braid it. You guys already know this, so do not be duped by any of this stuff.
And I do think that they probably have. What do you think about it, Ladosha? Excuse me, but I think they have other things on their hair as well. And I think that it just the sweating with the stuff in. Maybe you guys can take a towel, blot it, and get some of the what you have in it before you work out.
Yeah, so that's because when you sweat that stuff, it's most certainly it is going to come down into your eyes. Okay. Now, if you are a licensed cosmetologist, you are a barber, a natural hair stylist, don't forget you can be like a lactician, just all of that. Don't forget we have this coming up in October. Here we go.
If you would let me do your hair.
you can get your tickets right now. We do have tickets left at afrohairscience.com. They are just $65. If you are a member of the OAB, there's a special code that you can enter and you can get your discount, and that would only be $60. Remember, lunch is included. The hotel stay is very, very affordable. We have 4 wonderful topics. We have coil mechanics. We also have the Y2K. We're going to discuss about the future and all of this, that, and the third. And then we definitely going to be dispelling, right, some of these myths that we are hearing right now that's influencing what's happening here in the industry. It's just really, really important that we do this. And then, of course, the number one reason why we are coming to Toledo is to really discuss hair loss. Hair loss is something that the beauty industry is inundated with. It always has been a concern for people, but Cheryl is going to take this conversation to a scientific level because, as Hair Savannah has pointed out, these clicking and these impressions, they are definitely dumbing down the industry. So you said, she says, here's a good question. She asked, would it help if the science community asked these folks to cite their sources to claims?
No, because the beauty industry and the cosmetic lobby, in conjunction with the FDA, does not regulate hair care, cosmetic, perfumes, and personal care the same way it does food and drugs, because hair is a temporary effect. Shampoos is a temporary. Make up your mind you don't like it, stop using it. Only when it becomes to certain dyes and alpha hydroxy in skin peels, okay? And when you don't make claims on your labeling. Those are the 3 areas that falls under the Food and Drug Administration. The EPA only comes in when it's toxic chemicals in the raw good, in the rawness of the chemical world. Okay,
okay.
It begins to affect your systems, such as lungs, respiratory issues, okay, eye issues. You notice that certain dyes in a synthetic hair did not get enough attention, but soon as the nails and the fumes from the fake acrylic, that got, because it can go up your nose and create systemic issues.
Okay.
Beauty and personal care is topical. They're treatments. Hair grows back. So there is not the same laws. The judicial system and the court system and the cosmetic lobby is thick and heavy. But I like the fact that it is regulated somewhat. The problem is that there is no strong enough Black hair organization that can pull them to the side and contact them personally and tell them, if you do not take down or take your video down or have some level of commitment and code of conduct or some kind of standards, if it doesn't happen in the organization. See, we could not do that and say certain things in the medical world. Doctors can't just say things because they have medical associations, medical organizations. They have code of levels of conduct. You take a Hippocratic oath and you take things, and then you have your peers to keep you kind of in the confines of and boundaries of what science says. You have to have a report, or you have to have some kind of review or some kind of paper or theory or theorem. But there is no such thing. It's not that it's been that way all the time, but our organizations are very weak. We need a new one. And National Beauty Cultures League has not done a good job to keep up, because that particular generation in that organization is entrenched in very old generations of doing things. We need a new one. So But this podcast, and as I travel in Ladosha, we do our best that we can.
All
But
right. Yeah.
yeah,
So you can
I hope that answers your question.
you can respectfully suggest, like, to ask them to source it, but like she said, they don't really have to. And then, like you also pointed out, Miss Morrow, that a lot of them, you're right, they are making their own products, and they're selling this stuff. And this is why I'm going down to Columbus on Wednesday to let the lawmakers know this is what we are up against in the barber and beauty industry. We need more education. This is the only way that we can really be able to be here for you guys. We don't need to waste our time fighting a bunch of pseudos. We have to circumvent them by equipping us behind the chair with information such as what we're going to be learning in the Afro Hair Summit. Only science is going to be able to give us the credibility, it's going to give us the chutzpah, and of course the professionalism to yield the results so that we can be of better service to you guys behind the chair. So thank you so much, Ms. Morrow, for that comment. We're going to be back on Thursday, right? Over on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And we're going to be talking about these title bullies, these PhDs, these master colorists, these master cutters, and master stylists, and these hair, what you call those, shamans. All these title bullies, we're going to be talking about that. So get ready to join us over on Planet Pseudo as we talk about the title bullies. A good question. What can we do to get our professional bands to tournament to support to the stylists? Putting products directly in the consumer's hands is not the best move.
I think the 82 or the people who are on this chat right now, the commitment. This is our moment, and I think that natural hair care and their gurus and influencers, and I think that they are in a I think they're in a pickle, and I know that they don't know what tomorrow brings, and I think that they are coming back into the professional ranks. I think they want to come, and I think that this is our moment to commit to each other that we have a standard. The problem is that we don't have a standard of truths that are based on Afro texture science, because the dermatologists and the jurists, the magistrates, the attorneys, the lawyers, they don't know what to say until we tell them what to say and how to say it, where the bodies are buried, what is true, what needs to be researched, what needs more body of work, what is theorem, what is absolute, what is not, what do we need to, we should be the purveyors of that. And I think that we can commit to that no matter what we are. That natural hair care, because they're not the enemy. The problem is that they have had a 23-year run of holding of the attention in the arena of the attention of the consumer. And because this is their handiwork and this is where we are now, we kind of have to relearn, undo, deposit what is real and what we are going to move into the future with.
Right.
I think we have to set that agenda.
And that's why they are invited to the Afro Hair Summit. I've heard them say that we are their enemy. The natural hair community is not our enemy. However, we do see them coming back into the folds of cosmetology. I already knew that was going to happen. And this is why I keep pushing for more education, more education, more education. But it has to be scientific. It just cannot be about hairstyling. And maybe we might do a podcast about that, Cheryl. Why do we need to become more scientific, in the education of cosmetology, because a lot of people think that's going to turn people off and we'll lose, the coloring and the cutting and the, all that stuff. So that is one topic we could talk about. But this Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. EST or 7 o'clock p.m. PST. We're going to be over on planet Pluto Pseudo discussing title bullies. Some people take their titles and they just get you. I'm the charger. You know what I'm saying? So we have to talk about the title bullies, and then also when we come back next week, we're going. Now that we know that now that we know that sweat does not damage your hair. We repeat, sweat does not damage your hair. Now that we know that, people also want to know, well, if sweat doesn't damage your hair, what about stress?
That's all.
The stress.
The worms.
The stress cause hair loss. We have to go into it. We're going to be talking about what does stress do to our hair, and we have to cover our skin. So come back next week and we're going to talk about stress. Does it make your hair turn gray? You hear people say that all the time. I know when I first started turning gray, people was just, are you under a lot of stress? And I'm like, wow. And they're like, because your shit turning gray. And I was like, I think I am. I am under a lot of stress. So we need to know, does stress do these things? Does it cause your hair to come out? Does it cause your hair to turn gray? Does it make your skin break out? So Cheryl, I have no answers. Please don't ask.
Well, and let me just say this. So next week is a prelude to the Afro Hair Science Summit conversation. So you guys are going to get a prelude. And let me just say this to Hair Savant's last Thursday's question. We are going to be creating a digital version of what we're going to, maybe just one subject, mastering texture, will be available in the a digital version for you guys who can't come to all the way to Toledo. But we are in the midst of getting that digitized. But yes, we're going to break down what and how these things affect the skin and scalp level.
Yeah, people need to know about, it's that time of the year.
So you can understand it.
Yeah, people stressing out. It's holiday season. I'm gonna get fat. I need to lose weight. I gotta spend money. I gotta buy Christmas gifts. My weight, my nerves. Everybody's just got some issues about stress. So does it make your hair come out? Does it turn gray? And then Cheryl says this is the perfect conversation for a prelude as we enter into October, and we will be approaching the time to go to Toledo, which I'm going to be there Friday. I'm going to be going live acting a damn fool. So we're going to Toledo to actually promote the Afro Hair Summit. And again, visit afrohairscience.com. And by the way, if you are in the chat and you haven't had the opportunity to do this, please do it before we sign out. All right, Cheryl dropped some knowledge, gave you some good information. You don't have to send us no money to Cash App. Not today, okay, maybe next week. No, I'm just kidding. But you can go ahead on and hit the heart button, okay? We appreciate you guys' support. We'll be back here next Monday, again, talking about stress and hair. Does it make it come out? Does it cause your hair to turn gray? What about your skin breaking out? And a prelude to the Afro Hair Science Summit. And then on Thursday, go ahead, guys, get your little, your space helmet and get your mothership and come on over to Planet Pluto Pseudo as we discuss them title bullies. How should we use our titles responsibly, or should we get a little thuggish, ruggish Bones, which, by the way, they say Crazy Bone is having some medical issues. So he is down with Bone Thugs and Harmony. So Crazy Bone, you got a prayer from all of us over here on the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Deuces, good people. You all are absolutely wonderful. Cheryl and I, we appreciate your support. Please take us very seriously. Sweat is just sweat. And y'all have a good night. Okay? Bye.